WTOL 11 Plus now, a deadly attack on a light rail train. What we're learning from newly released surveillance video and growing calls for more police on public transit.
Been so long. I want to tell you that I don't remember. Honestly don't remember.
A newly released Epstein document sparks controversy. The note allegedly from President Donald Trump, and the response tonight claiming it's fake. Plus, a troubling new report card for America's high school seniors. Reading scores hit the lowest level in more than 30 years. What's behind the decline? Next. Welcome into WTOL 11 Plus now. I'm Kaylee Maritat. Jeff Smith is off tonight. Tonight, Lucas County commissioners have approved spending $1.5 million on the Hilton Garden Hotel downtown. The commissioners say this money is a way to protect their original investment into the hotel. Megan Harnett explains it still has to be approved.
Lucas County commissioners are hoping that putting more money into its downtown hotel project now will pay off in the future.
This is ensuring our investment is alive and operating. It will get utilized as it's needed.
The county became a partial owner back in 2020 after investing $37.5 million to help renovate the downtown hotel and convention center. The hotel had an air conditioning failure that drained its reserves this summer.
Here's what it showed me, that one thing could go wrong, and that could suck up $500,000 and maybe put the hotel on the brink of closing for a week or two, is not an acceptable risk.
The county's money is coming from the general fund. $500,000 is going right back to the hotel's reserves, and the other $1 million is being proactively set aside if the hotel needs it.
I don't want to risk that future by being short-sighted now. Again, we're not taking away from any of the row offices. This is a cash investment that's available. We may not have to put it all in, but boy, we better have a backstop ready to go in case we need it.
County Commissioner Anita Lopez says she has reservations putting the $1 million aside and voted against the resolution. But Commissioner Lisa Sebecki says it was an easy yes.
I think it's exactly the right investment. I don't have concerns about that.
Commissioner Sebecki says having an operating hotel and convention center is critical to bringing more events to Toledo. But a third-party analysis of the two shows there's still room for improvement. The analysis says the hotel has not met financial goals since opening, and the Glass City Center has lost more than 100 events due to not having enough hotel rooms or a lack of client response.
It's like being a baseball batter. Nobody bats 1,000%.
Commissioner Pete Gerken says there are already events and conventions on the books through 2028, and the projections show a promising future.
Megan Harnett is joining us in studio tonight. Megan, the commissioners say having a good hotel downtown is necessary to bring economic development and conventions to the area. Are these planned for the future?
They are. County Commissioner Pete Gerken says right now they have about 29 on the books. That's from now up until 2028. One of the ones is the Toledo Garment, which is coming up in 12 days. No one's counting. But so they have some things planned. They have, an Ohio Land Bank Association coming. They have a bunch of other things that they are trying to get, because they said, a lot of these conventions, they plan out 3 years in advance. So they can't have an issue with the hotel come who knows when, 2027, if there's an issue with the hotel. So that's part of the reason that they want to make sure that they can secure these ahead of time, so that they can bring these big groups and these types of events to the downtown area.
Sure. So in the analysis of the hotel and convention center's performance, was there anything that stood out to you?
There was, so I just said that they had those 29 that they were able to secure, but from 2021 to 2024, the county wasn't able to secure 102 different events, whether it was from the clients not responding back to the hotel, or if there wasn't enough hotel rooms or stuff like that. So I thought that was one thing that was really interesting, is that, yes, they've been able to secure so many, and they have 29, already planned out through 2028, but there was more than 100 that the county wasn't able to secure over a 3-year period. So I think commissioners are currently trying to figure out, what can we do to make sure that we avoid that, even though some of those issues were not on them, because it's, the people who originally reached out just never responded, or maybe they chose somewhere else. Another thing that they brought up is just the travel to Toledo, and one of those being the lack of flights that we have at Toledo Express, which is kind of something you don't think about right away. And, when you're thinking about hotel development and stuff downtown, But, we know that Allegiant just added some more flights back to Sarasota and other parts of Florida and throughout, so they're expanding. We're getting more of those flights, but I think they're not always from places where people are traveling here to do business from. It seems like a lot more vacation areas still. Yeah. It's all warm areas that Toledo Express goes to.
Not really much here, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Megan Hartnett joining us in studio tonight. Thanks, Megan.
I don't even know what they're talking about. Now, somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot.
Well, President Donald Trump is responding to new questions about his past ties to Jeffrey Epstein. It all stems from a newly released document. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee obtained records from Epstein's estate that include a so-called birthday book of notes from friends. Among them is a 2000 message allegedly from President Trump that includes a nude sketch and references to shared secrets. President Trump and the White House deny the document's legitimacy, calling it a fake. He says he's filed a $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal for reporting on it. New data shows crime in the nation's capital has dropped since last month. That's when the Trump administration ordered a federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s police department. Authorities cleared homelessness encampments and detained hundreds of people allegedly in the country illegally. Reports also show tourism is down and restaurants are seeing fewer customers. The White House's command of D.C. police is set to end tomorrow. Well, some of the industries most exposed to tariffs are now losing jobs. A new analysis showing growth in manufacturing, construction, and transportation turned negative shortly after President Trump's trade war started in the spring. The U.S. manufacturing sector has shed 78,000 jobs through the past year, with 4 straight months of decline, according to Friday's August jobs report.
It was clear that the public safety response that we're providing was not sufficient.
There's outrage in Charlotte, North Carolina, after an attacker stabbed and killed a woman on a light rail train last month. The attack captured on surveillance video has sparked calls for stronger security in the Charlotte area transit system known as CATS. Some city leaders and residents are urging police officers to patrol trains instead of using a private firm. The suspect in the deadly stabbing is in custody. Police say he has a long history of arrests and suffers from mental health problems. New testing data shows reading skills among U.S. high school seniors have hit a historic low. The National Assessment of Educational Progress shows that about a third of students tested last year lacked even basic reading skills. Seniors also posted their weakest math results since 2005. The findings mark the first national snapshot since the pandemic disrupted classrooms. Experts say the declines are likely tied to pandemic learning loss and rising screen time for students.
I just stabbed him.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. We already have.
You know what that means? That means that he could.
Listen, I need you to calm down.
Coming up next, the newly released 911 call. What we're learning about a young suspect charged with stabbing and killing a 14-year-old.
We're looking at weather that's going to remain dry across the area for the next several days. When will we get that next chance of rain? My hour-by-hour forecast will be coming up.
Maya, would you like to come be on TV? Whoa! Oh my gosh! Oh.
Well, she was 9 months pregnant and trapped in the mountains after Hurricane Helene. Now, 1 year later, the mom and her miracle baby are sharing their story of survival and gratitude. Turning now on the WTOL 11 TikTok page, a 16-year-old accused of fatally stabbing 14-year-old Xander Epps in Point Place called 911 on himself after the incident. Sophia Pericone breaks down what we're learning from that call.
We are now hearing the 911 call made by a teenage boy after he allegedly stabbed and killed another teenager in Northwest Ohio. A 16-year-old was arrested and charged with murder in the stabbing death of 14-year-old Xander Epps in Point Place. It happened right near this McDonald's. In the 911 call, you can hear the 16-year-old say he stabbed Epps in self-defense after Epps and a few other teenagers allegedly tried to jump him. Take a listen.
County 911, where's your emergency?
I just, bro, it was trying to jump and go. I just stabbed it.
You stabbed someone?
Yes, he was trying to jump me.
The 16-year-old suspect was in court September 8th, but the hearing didn't actually move much further along. The prosecution and the defense both say Toledo police have not turned over key discovery evidence to them, including that 911 call. The defense is pushing hard, saying their 16-year-old client is sitting in custody with no discovery in hand. Click the drop down to find a link to the full story and to hear the full 911 call.
You can read the story right now on our website, and make sure to follow the WTOL 11 page on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and all your favorite social media platforms. Well, Apple unveiled its next generation of phones and wearable tech today. The new iPhone Air is the thinnest model ever made, designed with more computing power for AI features. It's built from 80% recycled titanium and comes in 4 different colors. Apple also rolled out the iPhone 17 and announced updated AirPods and Apple Watches. The new lineup will be available in stores starting September 19th. Girl Scout cookie season is almost here, and while this upcoming year's lineup won't include the s'mores and toastier cookies, there's a new treat on the menu. We're talking about the Rocky Road-inspired cookie called Explore Mores. The chocolate cookie features a creamy filling with flavors of marshmallow and toasted almond cream. Just like other Girl Scout cookies, they're available online and through local troops. We were talking with Mel earlier. She said she's kind of getting an Oreo vibe from this.
A little bit of an Oreo vibe. If you could kind of like mix a Samoa with a Thin Mint, I think that'd be an interesting combination with the coconut and peppermint. So maybe a future development.
Those are like those are the top two for me.
Top two, maybe add in the tag-alongs as well. And I think you'd
yeah.
have a good combination. So hard to believe it's getting closer to Girl Scout cookie season.
It's not good for me.
That means cooler weather, doesn't it?
That too, but
Yeah.
I'm saying just usually hibernation season.
Another way to look at it. Not quite there yet. We'll take you over to the big weather map. So here's what we are going to be looking at. Sunshine that will be with us most afternoon. A bit of a gradual warm up that should take us back toward 80 or warmer for several days this week. Sunny, dry weather. And unfortunately, I know we need the rainfall, but we have limited to no rain in sight as we go through the rest of this work week into the start of the weekend. An area of high pressure off to the east. Now, do have a little bit of cloud cover that's mixing into the area. That is not anything that's going to really obscure the skies continually. We'll have that drift overhead tonight. It is not going to bring or yield any chance of any rain. So Doppler radar, it's going to look a lot like this. Dry conditions across the area. And speaking of dry weather, we've got 70s for most regions. A little bit of a cooler lake breeze that's made its way onshore. You'll feel that. But very dry weather has now put much of the area into the latest drought monitor, which would put us either abnormally dry, or if you look over toward Wood County, Hancock County, Putnam, and into Henry County, that's an area that is moderate drought, and that is only going to expect to continue to expand across the area. Now, I want you to focus on some really incredible video I had that was sent in to me. This was down in Findlay, captured yesterday. This is a dust devil. Evidence of just how dry things are. Hot summer days that could kind of fuel up these circulations. Now, this isn't anything concerning as far as a safety standpoint, but it can be a little bit alarming. They don't really attached to a supercell thunderstorm, which would be more tornadic in nature. This is non-tornadic, really just fueled by thermal circulations. We'll rewind it right here one more time. Here comes the dust devil, as this is just east of Main Street, east of the University of Findlay campus, over toward P&A Industries, just off in the background is where that is showing up. But a dust devil that was reported in Findlay yesterday. Temperature-wise, bus stop forecast into the morning, lower 50s. It'll be a dry, cooler start to the morning. More sun into the afternoon. Highs edge toward 80 degrees. Unfortunately, if you need the rain, and I know many of us do, I don't have any chance of rain in sight as we go through the next 24, 48, even 72 hours. Conditions are going to stay dry Wednesday night into Thursday, more clear conditions. Cooler nights back into the 50s and daytime highs will hedge close to 80 degrees. So here's the trend as we get into Wednesday. Partly sunny skies in the morning, more sunny in the afternoon. We'll head toward 80 degrees, and I'm already looking forward to our Friday night football games. Another A+ forecast into Friday night as we fall back into the low 70s and eventually upper 60s. Could actually be one of the warmer nights we've had. We've had a couple cool ones, and now we're expecting a mild outlook. Rest of the week, highs in the 80s. There is that rain chance on Sunday. Unfortunately, the data yesterday was a little bit of a tease. It was showing a higher chance of rain Sunday into Monday. Not so much today. We've had to limit that chance. A few scattered showers Sunday. Much of next week, early weather will be dry with highs in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Kaylee, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Nearly a year after Hurricane Helene cut off mountain communities, a mom was days away from a scheduled C-section. She found herself stranded during the storm until a doctor and a network of strangers stepped in. Our sister station in Charlotte, North Carolina has the story.
This is a story that got a lot of attention. A woman there in Asheville rushed from the mountains to the Charlotte area to have her baby in an emergency situation, and women and people, families in Charlotte all rallied together to make sure that the woman, the baby, and her family were safe.
Maya, would you like to come be on TV? Whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh, hi.
You just have to roll with it when you're doing a Zoom interview with a 9-month-old and her big brother, and the mom trying to juggle them both.
Hi. You've gotten so much bigger. Do you love where you're living?
Let's rewind.
Well, it's been a really eventful year.
You may remember Courtney Mosier, the mom who was trapped in the mountains with a scheduled C-section for a breached baby when Hurricane Helene hit.
At the very entrance, there was a sinkhole that was like 40 feet deep, and there was maybe 4 feet of road left.
So you couldn't get past that?
There was no way.
Charlotte Dr. C.J. Atkinson from Novant Health helped get her onto a helicopter and brought her here to have her baby.
I said to her, do you trust me? And she appropriately said, well, I just met you. And so I rephrased it and said, okay, I need you to trust me and get on this helicopter because we have a tight window to get off the mountain, and I'm not sure when we'll be able to come back.
A group of moms on Facebook heard about Courtney and gave her and her family a home to stay in for a month and much more.
The porch was filled with clothes for Dylan, clothes for me, clothes for her.
After a month, they went back to Asheville only to find there was a hole in their roof that meant almost everything in their home was moldy.
So we can either start over, or we can take this as an opportunity to be a little bit lighter and travel for a bit. A lot of things that I got rid of, I would have rather not have. And I probably never would have. But now that I was forced to, I think it's a good thing.
They moved to Canada, where they've been working remotely most of the year.
I think that we had always talked about living like this at some point, like going and like having this experience. But I think that had we not been forced to, it would have always been too hard, too overwhelming to think about the idea of packing everything up and getting it and doing it. But now we were forced to, and so we did.
And she says baby Maya and big brother Dylan are thriving.
So she likes to pull to Sandy. She likes to say, well, Dylan likes to go ba 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 to her, and she goes ba 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 back to him.
She says she thinks about their time in Charlotte and all the help they received almost daily.
Overwhelming gratitude sounds kind of cliche, but that really is where we're at.
Well, Courtney hopes to return to Charlotte for Maya's first birthday to personally thank the women and others who helped her family after the hurricane. And next, it's decision day. One Wood County community will choose whether to welcome another data center. The controversy and when we'll know whether it's happening.
Well, let's take a practice shot. 1, 2, 3.
And going strong after a century. The birthday surprise for this golfer you won't want to miss. Thanks for being with us here on WTOL 11 Plus. Our goal is to bring you well-rounded coverage from what's important in the world to our country and your community. New details tonight on a deadly fire we've been tracking as breaking news since yesterday morning. The coroner just released the names of the victims found dead after a fire near Detroit in the Anthony Wayne Trail. An autopsy reported the names of the deceased as 61-year-olds Donald Glore and Jacqueline Wilcox. The Lucas County coroner says both died from burn injuries and smoke inhalation. We're told no foul play is suspected at this time. Today marks 5 years since police found the body of 3-year-old Braylon Noble in the pool at Hunters Ridge Apartments. The Lucas County coroner tells WTOL 11 that after multiple reviews, most recently in July, Braylon's cause of death is still undetermined. Submersion in water is listed as a contributing factor. His mother, Dejanay Cox, and grandmother, Bobby Johnson, originally reported him missing, saying he fell from a third-story window. Both were charged with obstructing justice, and Cox also with attempted child endangerment. A judge sentenced them to probation in 2022. Toledo police are investigating a fight that ended with one person being cut with a knife. Here's what we know. TPD responded to the 4200 block of Lewis near Sylvania around 3:30 this afternoon. When they arrived, they found 2 women, one with cuts to her face. An officer on the scene told WTOL 11 police believe one woman used a knife and one of them has been detained. Stay with WTOL 11 for any updates. Darnell Jones Ogletree, who's accused of killing 14-year-old Kimani Lateague, is asking the court for money to help pay for expert support in his trial. Jones's lawyers say he cannot afford to hire his own legal team. They've filed a motion requesting funds for additional expert help, with the exact amount to be decided at a private hearing. That hearing is set for September 15th at 9:30 in the morning. His attorneys say this request is allowed under Ohio law and backed by U.S. Supreme Court precedent. They argue it's necessary to ensure Jones gets a fair trial without putting the state's rights at risk. Plans for a potential second data center in Milton Township may be scrapped. Right now, trustees are meeting to consider whether to toss out a controversial rezoning request. The township zoning inspector confirms to WTOL 11 that a property owner behind the potential data center asked to withdraw the application. It initially took aim at more than 100 acres near the current Meta data center site. Our crews are at that meeting right now, and we'll have a full report streaming right here on WTOL 11 Plus tonight at 10 and 11. Right now, Flag City Honor Flight is back in the air, headed home after carrying veterans to visit the memorials built in their honor. The group spent the day touring the nation's capital with fellow heroes and service members. Dan Cummins is traveling with them again. He'll bring you a full report on their homecoming at Toledo Express Airport. That's streaming right here on WTOL 11 Plus. Well, our own book club launched its latest episode of Well Read, Well Said today. This week, the group picks a new read to dive into. Some are great and some not so much.
The book that we're reading for this month for September is War D from Frida McFadden. This is mine and Megan's first time reading Frida McFadden. And Mel and Alexis, you guys have read a couple of her books already. Yes. You like her a lot.
I haven't had one that I didn't like.
Yeah, they're really speedy.
Yes.
They're short, and you want to pick them up a lot.
Yeah. You like want to know what's going to happen.
I think I kept telling Mel that. I'm like, I don't want to be a normal adult with responsibilities. All I want to do is read this book.
It's like you have
and
to
we
know.
were, Alexis and I were already done with the book, and Megan would text, oh, this happened or this happened.
Like her theories that were
but there's always
completely
lots
off.
of twists in the Frida books.
And we did something different this time with choosing our book. We decided to go with an author instead of a genre. We needed to change things up. We really needed
Everyone was
something
hating
to
the books. It was nice. We finally got past that, but maybe you didn't because you didn't start reading the book.
I did.
She's like,
I did read the
slow
book.
and
Oh, you did read it.
Well, it's not done yet. I'm reading. I'm reading the book. I'm slower, which is not normal.
No.
Usually it's me and and Megan are
if you have
done
a lot
with
going
the
on,
book.
you know.
And I mean, I have a lot of other books that I'm reading. So-
This is true. You're reading what?
I'm reading 3 books right now.
Oh,
I'm reading the Frida McFadden book, and I have 2 other books that I'm
get easily confused.
Which we'll get into in a little bit,
yes,
right?
we will get into that. So that's why it's taking me a little. It's not that I don't want to pick it up. It's just that I have like 3.
You're pacing
books,
yourself.
So I'm trying to pace
Crazy,
myself
though,
because
that you can do that.
I probably would read this in like 2 days. So
Yeah,
That's what,
that's what we did.
about
But
2
I
days.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I could jump between books. I get confused.
it's very easy with the books that I'm reading right now.
I feel like you need
Yes,
to
they're
have
very
different
types of
genres.
books.
Like
Yes.
if you're reading a mystery thriller, you need to be ear listening to like a romance or something of a different genre.
Yeah, so they're very different. I'll explain in a little bit.
You can check out Well Read, Well Said exclusively right here on WTOL 11 Plus. The newest episode, recorded just hours ago, is next in about 3 minutes.
Isn't that beautiful? Happy 100th birthday, Pearl.
Meet Pearl Atwood. At 100 years old, she's still hitting the links every week. Atwood has been playing golf for the last 50 years. And on her 100th birthday last week, her friends at Twin Woods Golf Course surprised her with a celebration on the green. The club's owner says Pearl is an inspiration, still playing 9 holes every Wednesday. Atwood says she feels blessed to be able to keep swinging and plans to play as long as she can.
Looked like she had a 9-iron, a good swing there, too.
Yeah, she got a hold of it. I mean, at 50 years of playing, she's pretty good, probably.
Way to go, Pearl.
Yeah.
Probably puts up a pretty good score as well, and she certainly enjoys it.
I was going to say she could probably smoke me right now. Not you.
We'll see. Yeah, she could. I'd take her on. We'd have a good time. Weather-wise, golf weather the next several days. You could be out and about. No threat of any rain delays. We certainly do need the rain. It is very dry across the area. Low 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next chance we do get some rain on Sunday. Data was a little more optimistic yesterday. That would be more widespread rain. Today kind of flops back toward just a few showers on Sunday is what we'd be expecting. Nothing at all that would be busting the dry conditions.
Well, thanks for joining us here on WTOL 11 Plus. Remember, this is your home for more than just news. You can stream our full lineup of local content anytime. It's in-depth coverage you won't want to miss. We'll see you back here tomorrow.